not taking away jobs. There is a lot of fear around AI because it is so good, almost human these days, right? Will it cause mass unemployment? Will we have a case where there are no jobs for people left and everything is done by AI? I don't think so. I don't think at all. I don't think AI will create mass employment. This video is inspired by a tweet which went viral. I will add that tweet in the description. You can have a look. Basically, the idea is there will always be jobs. Jobs is like a feature of society. The way society is built, jobs is a feature of it, and it is built so well that we'll always have jobs. There is a book on it called Bullshit Jobs, which basically talks about how a lot of the jobs we do are actually so-called bullshit, meaning they are not that useful to society, they're not essential, but they exist because society creates jobs for everyone. Okay, let me explain this more clearly. So what exactly is a job? Let's start from there. So people who live in a society, a capitalist society, or any society for that matter, need to survive. Okay, they need certain essential things to survive, like food, clothing, shelter. Okay, so how do they get this? Okay, so there are people in society who will have the skills to create these essential goods like food, cloth, and shelter. They will create these things, and people who need it will take it from them. So how do they take it from them? By doing some work. So when you do some work, basically you can exchange that work for this essential stuff. So before the concept of job, how it used to work is people used to do barter. Okay, so I am good in making something. I will make that and give it to you, and you give me something which I need. Okay, but there is a problem in this barter system, which is basically division of labor. Society mainly needs three things, which is food, shelter, and clothing. And only maybe 1% of people have the skills to create these things. So what about the rest, right? What will they do? The rest need these essential goods, but how will they trade, right? Unfortunately, they will need to be good at something, some skill, which people with the essential goods skills need it. Okay, so for example, this 1% of people will make shelter, food, and clothing, right? They should need something which the rest can make. So what are the odds of 99% of people having some skills which is needed by this 1%? Very, very low. Basically, it won't happen. So this is the problem with division of labor. Majority of people will not have skills which is useful to the minority who are actually having the skills to create the essential goods. So this is where we created money. So money, one of the greatest inventions of human beings, our civilization, is this. Money was created to solve this problem of division of labor. So I'll tell you how it works. So when we start money, basically we give certain amount, exactly the same amount, some random amount to everybody. Just like in the game Monopoly. Everybody gets like some cash to begin with, right? So the 1% will get the same cash, and the 99% also will get the same cash. So what will happen immediately? The 99% will start exchanging the money for the essential goods. Okay, so what will happen? They will now run out of money. Okay, but now the 99% can trade money among themselves. So any person who is in the 99% will just need to find some skill he or she is good at, which anyone in the 99% should find valuable. Okay, this is a huge difference. Okay, before money, you had to be good at a skill which the 1% values. Now you can be good at a skill which the 99% values, anybody in the 99%. And that is the brilliance of money. So let's say I am in the 99%, okay? I am good at dancing, okay? Basically, you should find somebody in the 99%, and there will be somebody who values dancing talent. So as soon as I run out of money after buying my essential items from the 1%, I will just go to these people who like to see me dancing. I will dance in front of them and they will give me some cash. And now I can use that cash to go and buy my essential service again. So this creates a cycle where money is circulated across the 100%, because even the 1%, right, who are good at essential stuff, they can also trade for other services. Like some of them may like dancing, printing, not printing, let's say arts, manufacturing. There are so many goods and services we have. All this happens because of money. So after the invention of money, people can not only survive, meaning get the essentials, they can also prosper. We have now this bounty of goods and services made by everybody, right? For everyone else. That basically has happened because of money. So money creates jobs. Okay, so whenever I trade any skill I have with someone else for money, that is basically a job. Okay, so if you think from that angle, money creates jobs. Actually, not just money, money with optimism. So you must have heard of boom and bust, like recession and a booming economy. So spending is what creates jobs. Okay, everybody has money, but if they don't spend, there are no jobs. And what drives spending? Optimism. Optimism in the sense that I should be optimistic about making money in the future. Only then I will spend the money I have. Okay, so what happens is in an economy, there will be these phases of optimism among everybody. Like right now, it's going on in the case of AI. Everybody is very optimistic about AI, generating a lot of revenue. Similarly, the dot-com boom in '99, and there was electricity boom, thermal engine boom, railways boom. There are so many different, technological changes which created these booms. And also generally there will be booms and busts, because once people become optimistic, they'll start spending money, there will be lots of jobs, and suddenly one day it will reverse. There will be a small sentiment change which will trigger maybe a little bit of a stock market collapse, or like collapse of some job market, which will again create a cycle of pessimism. Now people are not very sure whether they will make money in the future, so they'll stop spending. Okay, and when you stop spending, jobs disappear. Okay, so this is why in recession there is high joblessness, and in boom there is plenty of jobs. So if you see, job loss and job creation is basically decided only by spending sentiment and not any technological change, right? So AI right now is just one of the technological change which is happening now. Like I said, we had so many technological revolution in the past, industrial revolution, the steam engine, electricity, manufacturing, internet, computer. We will always have revolutions. But no matter how much automation happens, no matter how much improvement is done through machines, robots, people can still spend money. And when people are spending money, the rest of the people can always find something new to make people pay for. And there is an important reason for this. Why people will always want something new. And the reason is because people are never content. People are never contented. They are never happy with the status quo. Contentment is a spiritual concept, but most of us don't have it. We always want something new. Okay, even the richest of the richest person does shopping. They want to buy new high-end stuff. The poor want to buy new low-end stuff. The middle class want to buy new stuff. So basically, we are always wanting something to fill a void in us, which is basically misery. So there'll always be a need to buy stuff, for pleasure. Okay, and because of that, no matter how much automation, it's very warm. No matter how much automation happens, no matter how much technological advancement happens, there will be always some opportunity to sell something new to fill the void which people have, right? So that is why there will always be jobs, no matter what, because jobs are created when people spend money. As long as we have money, as long as people have the optimism to spend money, there will be jobs. There is one other way to explain this through a thought experiment. So imagine, and even the tweet which I talked about in the beginning, which inspired this video, also talks about this thought experiment. The thought experiment is this. Imagine a caveman, someone who lived like 10,000 years back. A caveman time travels to present society. What will be his outlook? So we have actually solved all his problems. So the caveman used to have very simple problems. No guaranteed food, no guaranteed shelter, no guaranteed security, from getting killed by animals. We have solved all those problems. So if the caveman travels to present day, he will be like overjoyed. Like he'll be like, wow, all my problems are gone. What happens after that? So what will happen is the caveman will lose the momentary joy and suddenly discover new problems. Just like us. He will start worrying about, okay, I'm bored now. Okay, I want to watch something. So he will have a need for entertainment. I want to get status. I want to be better than others. So I want to like buy shiny stuff. Right? So even a caveman, will not be satisfied with all the progress we have done because of lack of contentment. So even the caveman will start earning money to spend it because he will notice that, he or she, sorry, will notice that in spite of all this technological revolution, still not happy. There is still a void which will always remain out unless spiritual awakening, you become enlightened. Every normal person will always have a void which will get filled by shopping. And as long as that is there, everyone will always have a job. Don't worry about it. There is always jobs. Just think about all the jobs we have in India, for example, software. It was not there 20 years back. Zero. What are people doing there? Something else. Right? So similarly, if all the software job goes, there'll be something else. Society will create new jobs as soon as old jobs go away. Right? It always gets filled. Right? So everybody will always have a job as long as there is money and as long as people want to spend it. Okay, thank you. That is enough for now. Please subscribe. I am forced to say this because I'm seeing that the amount of subscriptions are not going up as quickly as I hope. Anyway, see you next time. Bye.